Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy, Sports and Fitness Rants? I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Got another great video for you guys today, as usual. You guys know the deal on this channel. So about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, stopping them from rewriting history, guys. And in this video, I want to talk about an article that I saw on Basketball Network. And I don't remember when this interview was from. They're talking about a Michael Jordan interview. I want to say it was from like 2013 or something like that. And Michael Jordan takes a shot at LeBron James, man, and his not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9 championships. When Michael Jordan's talking about how many championships the Bulls possibly could have won if they did not break up the team after the 1998 season, when, they had just completed their second three-peat. Michael Jordan talked about how many championships they could have won possibly if they did not break the team up the way they did. We all know about The Last Dance. We're going to talk about in this video because Michael Jordan brought up LeBron James. He called it the LeBron thing. He said we could have won 7, 8, maybe 9. The LeBron thing. We're going to talk about this video. Once again, LeBron James gets exposed by another all-time great. Like I said, man, because of the things that LeBron James says and the way that he carries himself throughout his career. And how many times this man has failed. We're going to talk about it. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world, everyone across the states that's been supporting my channel. Once again, guys, I'm truly, truly humbled. Much respect to all you guys out there. Like I said, it really means a lot, guys, for real. And you guys know what to do. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, excuse me for a second. Like I said, I came across this article on Basketball Network. I think it came out, yesterday, I want to say, or maybe the day before yesterday, this article came out. And I believe it was from an interview that happened previously. Like I said, I can't remember if it was 10 years ago or whenever his interview was. And like I said, I'd never heard these comments. So I don't really know when the interview took place. From the article that I read, it looks like the interview took place around 2013, 2014, somewhere around there. But in the interview, Michael Jordan was asked about how many championships, he thinks they could have won if they did not break the team up. Because that's a hypothetical, scenario, a what if that people often talk about in NBA's history, right? There's a lot of what ifs, right? We talked about some of the great players that had really bad injuries. And we talk about, what if Anthony Hardaway never got hurt? What if Bill Walton never got hurt? What if Tracy McGrady never got hurt? What if Derrick Rose never got hurt? What if Len Bias didn't die? What if Reggie Lewis didn't die, right? What if this guy was drafted here? What if this guy was this, right? These are some of the what ifs we think about, right? So when they're talking about the Bulls in 1998, and, them breaking the team up, this is a big what if that many of us have talked about. Would Michael Jordan have went undefeated? Would the Bulls have won their 7th championship? Would they have won 4 in a row? Right? We talk about the what if Michael Jordan didn't retire after 93. Would they have won 8 straight championships? Right? These are some of the what ifs. So Michael Jordan says, and I quote, "We could have won 7, we could have won 8, or we could have won 9. The LeBron thing." That was end quote. That was his exact quote in this interview. And I started cracking up when I saw this. And once again, this is where LeBron James gets exposed by another all-time great. Because of the way that LeBron James carries himself, the things that he said in his mouth. So we all know about LeBron James claiming he's the greatest of all time, right? Oh, that one right there made me the greatest of all time. And he's been clowned over and over and over again. We all have seen LeBron James tweet out things and then delete these tweets, and we clown him, right? Keep that same energy. I'm activating playoff mode. I'm such a competitor. You got to chop my head off and bury me, 10 feet deep. He has all these corny sayings, all these weird tweets over the years, and then he deletes them because he doesn't rise up, right, to the occasion, right? His mouth writes a check that he can't cash, right? Yeah, I plan on playing all 82 games. Doesn't play all 82 games, right? LeBron James contradicts himself. He's a hypocrite, LeBron James, right? He's a classless individual. He's not a true competitor like Michael Jordan, right? He doesn't play with that love of the game. He doesn't respect the game. He don't respect the fans. So when we hear Michael Jordan say this, the LeBron thing, you know exactly what he's talking about. He's talking about not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, right? That's what Michael Jordan's talking about when he says the LeBron thing. Except when you hear Michael Jordan say, we could have won 7, we could have won 8, or we could have won 9, he's saying that based off of the facts and based off of what they have accomplished. They had already accomplished a 6-0 record in the finals, right? Michael Jordan, Phil Jackson, Scottie Pippen, right? The main guys. They were 6-0. Michael Jordan was undefeated in the finals. So when he says we could have won 7, he's right. When he says we could have won 8, he's right. When he says we could have won 9, he's 100% on the money, and no one's looking at that crazy. If Michael Jordan were to say that after the 1998 season and say, hey, man, we could win 7 if we come back. We could win 8 maybe. People would believe that because of Michael Jordan's track record, his reputation, right, that he earned, right? So if Michael Jordan says something like this, no one thinks twice about it. No one's like, I don't know about that. They were 6-0 already. Remember, Michael Jordan himself said, I wanted to keep playing until we were beaten, until we were knocked out of there. He didn't want to retire undefeated. He talked about that in the article as well. He did not want to retire undefeated. They wanted to run it back. They wanted to win until they lost. He talked about being the king of the hill and really going until someone could knock them off the hill. And then he said, you shake their hand and you say, it's your turn now, guys, to see what it's like to be on top of the hill. That's part of the reason why I told you guys in the past, you know, when people say, oh, Michael Jordan's team was a favorite, like that's easy for him to win because his team was a quote-unquote favorite. I told you, Michael Jordan, the Bulls, were under more pressure than any other team since. To be undefeated, 3-0 the first three-peat, then to have another three-peat, to every year you're undefeated. You're coming back as a defending champion. That's a lot of pressure, man. That's a lot easy to do. That's why you don't see three-peats like that, right? So every year the Bulls had to come back as once again and take everyone's best shot as the champions, the defending champs. That's a lot of pressure, right? It's not easy to do. All the pressure was on the Bulls. So it didn't matter if they were the favorites or not because the pressure was on them more so than any other team. All the pressure was on Michael Jordan to stay undefeated, to raise his level of play every time, right? That's a lot of pressure. So when we talk about these things, Michael Jordan saying we could have won 7, we could have won 8, we could have won 9. Absolutely, I believe it. When we talk about, hey, could the Bulls have won 8 in a row? Right, we talk about it hypothetically, but we say it's a possibility because of Michael Jordan and what he did. Michael Jordan always raised his level of play. He did. That's not me lying for him or making it up. He always raised his level of play. So that's why we believe that if it came down to it, no matter who they played, I'm taking Michael Jordan. Not saying he's guaranteed to win, but I'm picking him. I'm not betting against him because of the track record, because of him raising his play to another level that no one else could reach. He did that consistently when it mattered most. On both sides of the ball, he raised his level up. Right? Not many people could do that all the time. Even the greats fold up sometimes, have a bad series there, bad series here. That wasn't Michael Jordan, guys. Always showed up, man, against tough competition. So I thought this was a really funny article. Like I said, I'd never heard these comments before. When he says the LeBron thing is hilarious to me because that is the LeBron thing. Talk about it, but don't be about it. Michael Jordan was about it. It wasn't like Michael Jordan was talking this crazy in 91 before they won anything. Yeah, man, you know, we got Pippen going now. So now we're going to win not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. We're going to win more than Magic Johnson Lakers. We're going to win more than Larry Bird Celtics. We're going to win more than Isaiah Thomas Pistons. I don't remember him saying none of this stuff. Right? He wasn't pumping himself up. He was out there grinding and working and earning it. LeBron James out there talking it. Right? Oh, yeah. And once again, why would LeBron James feel, or have such bravado? Right? Why would he feel that way? Because he got Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh behind him. He's on a franchise now that has a winning culture there that he never established or added to. Right? Now you could stand behind Dwayne Wade right? The real leader, a big brother for you, right? Now you're protected. So you can stick your chest out now, get all hyped up during your press conference like a straight clown. But once again, your mouth wrote checks that your body couldn't cash, that your skills couldn't cash, that your game couldn't cash, right? You just didn't have it, right? You ran your mouth like a fool. You had a whole celebration circus for what? For a free agency? Michael Jordan ain't no doing none of that stuff. Michael Jordan ain't never left the Chicago Bulls. He ain't never cried and moaned for help. He ain't never talk about, yeah, that one right there made me greatest of all time. I won 3 in a row with Scottie Pippen as my best teammate. Never say this nonsense, right? Never say after a three-peat, yeah, man, we're going to win 8 in a row. You guys can't stop us. Remember, after the third title, right? They asked Michael Jordan in the post-game. You remember this interview? It's gone and done the rounds, right? The audio of Michael Jordan. When they asked him, does this put you above Magic Johnson and Larry Bird? Because they were, or Isaiah Thomas, because they never won 3 in a row. They weren't able to do that. And what Michael Jordan said, he goes, I don't know if that necessarily puts me above them. He goes, but I think that puts me right there with them, right? Equal to them. And that's all Michael Jordan ever wanted to be. Seen as a champion. On the level of a Magic Johnson, a Larry Bird, the all-time greats, right? Looking up to guys like Dr. J. These are the facts, man. So Michael Jordan is that doing what he did, the way that he did it, allowed him a different, view towards or versus LeBron James, right? Michael Jordan wasn't arrogant or cocky to the degree that LeBron James is, where it comes off offensive. Once again, unearned. Why was LeBron James so confident there, right? Not based off of him, but because he got a super team behind him. Whereas Michael Jordan had his teammates come to the team, right? Draft picks, whatever the case may be, and he pushed these guys to a level where he felt they were prepared. Every year he knew, we got to get better. We got to get better. We got to get better. We keep pushing. No, hey, I want to trade out of here. Oh, we got to trade Scottie Pippen. Hey, we can't win with Phil Jackson. We got to try a new system. None of that stuff. No disgruntled employee. No woe is me attitude. No victimization. Just hard work and grinding and earning it. Pushing himself, pushing his teammates so that they could earn it, so that they could feel good about themselves. Every player on those Chicago Bulls teams has to feel good about themselves because they know that they earned it. Because Michael Jordan forced you to earn it. Ron Harper, Randy Brown, Tony Kukoc, right? Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, Bill Cartwright, Cliff Livingston, Craig Hodges, right? Bob Hansen, Judd Bushler, right? You're talking about Steve Kerr, John Paxson, B.J. Armstrong, right? All these guys earned it, right? Stacey King, Will Perdue, Luke Longley, Bison Dele. All of these guys earned it being on that team. All the way down to the lowly role player that only played a couple of minutes in the finals. Everyone earned it because in those practices, Michael Jordan was going to force you to earn it. You weren't going to lollygag. You weren't going to go through the motions. And that's what made the Bulls so formidable because you never knew who was going to show up because they were prepared by Michael Jordan. He prepared them by putting them through the fire. I told you guys, and I did a video a long time ago, one of my first videos. I talked about how Michael Jordan built up the Chicago Bulls through attrition. If you guys know about the word attrition, this is how elite soldiers are forged. Through attrition. When you think about Navy SEALs, right? Some of the elite, right? Warriors out here, man, soldiers. These, I guess in the case of Navy SEALs, they're sailors, right? But when we talk about the Navy SEALs, it's the training that they go through. It's not just because they're Navy SEALs, they're Navy SEAls. It's the training you go through. It's so tough, so hard, right? You could die going through this training because they have to weed you out. They must get the best of the best of the best. And that's what attrition is. You're going to get put through the fire, and it doesn't matter if you get hurt, if you die, it doesn't matter. They have to weed out the weak. You must be able to survive it, not only physically, but mentally. That's probably the toughest challenge is mentally. These elite soldiers, they don't panic. They don't worry. They stay focused, right? They don't get scared or nervous because they fall back on their training. The mindset, okay? This is the way that Michael Jordan built the teammates up. Now, obviously, I'm giving you a little bit of an exaggerated example. We're talking about Navy SEALs, right? Michael Jordan wasn't going to have his teammates die out there in practice. Where the Navy SEALs, you could die out there. You could get hurt really bad, man. I knew a guy that went to Navy SEAL training when I was in C school, for Gunners May C school. When we graduated C school, he was going to Buds training, right? And he ended up breaking his leg during the Buds training. They don't care. You got to ring the bell, dude, or finish it with a broken leg, right? But this is what happens. So we talk about Michael Jordan building his teammates up. LeBron James ain't do nothing like that. We're the quite opposite of LeBron James' teammates. They don't practice. They're not hustling like that. They're not prepared. So what do I always tell you guys? Michael Jordan was able to maximize his teammates, to me, more so than any other player in NBA's history. To me, Michael Jordan, to this day, has done more with less than anyone else in history. More with less. Going against stiff competition. Not some soft-ass era like this. To me, LeBron James has done less with more. So when he says we could have won 7 or 8 or 9, Michael Jordan's right. The LeBron thing. But when Michael Jordan says it, right, it has credibility. When LeBron James says it, we laugh. We laugh at him, and no one believed it. And did it happen? Not even close. He went out there the first year and choked it up and won back-to-back championships, which is great, after you promised 6, 7, 8, 9. Michael Jordan was 6-0. He won 6 championships. And we believe he could have won 7 in 1999, possibly. Maybe they could have won 8 in 2000. The thing about it was, though, we wanted to see Michael Jordan try. He wanted to go out like that. Imagine if we could have got Michael Jordan's Bulls in 2000 going against Kobe and Shaquille O'Neal Lakers. Now, granted, this could have been a scene like the 1991 series against Magic Johnson, right? Except Magic Johnson, to me, was still younger, obviously, than Michael Jordan was or would have been in 2000. Magic Johnson coming back-to-back MVPs. He was runner-up in 91. But the team was, in a transition where you were starting to have some of those guys become older now, right? And then you had the newer generation, the 90s era now, coming into play. So it was almost a passing of the torch, changing of the guard, right? Remember the next year, Michael Jordan told these guys, there's a new sheriff in town. And Larry Bird was like, yeah, he ain't lying, man. It's his time. That could have been a similar scenario in 2000. You could have had Michael Jordan, right? He would have been about 37, 38 at that time, I want to say. Right? Pippen would have been a little bit earlier, or later, or a little bit older, maybe 36 or something like that, or 35. These guys would have been a little older, right? Rodman would have been older. Rodman would have been damn near 40 at that time. Probably would have been 40. So it would have been interesting, but it would have been a nice matchup to see if the Bulls could have made to the finals again in 2000, and you're going against Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, the Lakers. The interesting thing would have been, like I said, where does Phil Jackson come in, right? That's the interesting thing here. If Phil Jackson does not get forced at Chicago in 98, is he there to coach the Lakers in 2000? You guys know what I'm saying here, man? So once again, man, these are all the what ifs we talk about. But the what if of Michael Jordan winning 7 or 8 or 9 championships is much more believable than LeBron James ever winning 6, 7, 8, 9 championships. And it's much more believable because LeBron James couldn't even earn 1 legit championship. Meanwhile, Michael Jordan has 2 legit three-peats. Legit, that he earned, that he not cheat for, or need referees help, a billion free throws, or travel and carry the ball up and down the court, right? He didn't need a bunch of super teams, right? He didn't need his teammates to cover up for him because he ain't playing defense, right? He didn't have poor leadership. Michael Jordan did the opposite of all of that. You guys know that these are the facts, man. You just heard Craig Hodges confirm what I told you guys about a couple years ago, right? I told about many times the suicides. The man didn't lose a suicide sprint for 3 years. That's called hustle. Hustle. That's not LeBron James, guys. That's the facts. So Michael Jordan clowns LeBron James. The LeBron thing. That's what Michael Jordan says. Yeah, like I said, word for word. We could have won 7. We could have won 8. Or we could have won 9. The LeBron thing. That's the LeBron thing. 7, not 8, not 9. That's the LeBron thing. There's nothing iconic about LeBron James. That's his thing. Flopping is his thing. The super teams is his thing. Talking the talk but not walking the walk is his thing. And Jordan called it out and made a joke about it. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.